Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
New video shows the moments leading up to a deadly police shooting in Hartford, and it also shows the moment 21-year-old William Bowen was shot by police. And we have a warning for viewers now. Some of what we're about to show you is disturbing.
This happened along Thursday on Homestead Avenue, and police say Bowen was streaming on Instagram Live at the time and was showing what appeared to be a loaded gun. You see it right here. These pictures are provided by the Office of Inspector General on Monday, reportedly showing the gun seen in the live stream. The report says around 2:30 p.m., 2 Hartford police officers confronted Bowen, and they say he displayed that firearm. Bowen then ran into a backyard of a home on Magnolia Street. You see him running there. In this new video, we see Hartford Police Detective Joseph Walsh come up to Bowen on the side of the house. Bowen is seen holding up something when he runs toward Detective Walsh. The report says the officers ordered Bowen to drop what he was holding, and that's when Detective Walsh opened fire. Bowen was declared dead at St. Francis Hospital. In new police body cam video just released, Bowen appears to drop what he was holding, and it appears not to be a gun, but a cell phone.
In the report from the Office of Inspector General, when police later searched the area, they found a firearm on Homestead Avenue and another firearm in the backyard that he ran through. Both matched the weapons in Bowen's Instagram Live video. The Office of Inspector General is reviewing the case to determine if use of deadly force was justified. We have breaking news tonight. The Connecticut Supreme Court has upheld the murder conviction of Richard Debate, the Ellington man at the center of a murder case that drew widespread national attention because of evidence from his wife's Fitbit tracker. Debate was found guilty of killing his wife Connie back in 2015 inside the couple's home in Ellington. Authorities say the data from Connie's Fitbit contradicted the statements Richard Debate gave to police, claiming a masked intruder killed her. And the Connecticut Supreme Court issued a unanimous decision rejecting allegations from Richard Debate and his legal team. They claimed the Fitbit evidence was unreliable and that Debate was deprived of a fair trial because of misconduct by the prosecutor.
Let's turn things over to the weather now. It was an absolutely beautiful day out there. We hope you were able to get out and soak up some sunshine.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rachel, hope we have more sunshine to soak up.
Yes, we do. If you did not have a chance to get out there today, because we know sometimes life gets in the way, we're going to see a redo tomorrow. Highs will be in the 60s for most of the state, 50s, so a bit cooler for the shoreline, but overall lots of sunshine. We are dry, and it is another spring preview for us out there. So we are loving it. Here's a look at the numbers. 61 for Windham right now, 64 the current temperature for the Hartford area, 50s at the immediate shoreline, and the winds are a lot lighter as well. A lot of you on social media wrote in and said, I don't care about the temperature. Could you just make the wind go away? Overnight lows are falling back into the 30s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. And check this out. We might see a little bit of low clouds and fog to start off the day at the shoreline, but that'll burn way, giving way to lots of sun. Inland, we're looking at highs in the low to mid 60s, so 63 in Wallingford, but along the shoreline with the wind coming in off of the water out of the south, we'll be in the 50s for the beaches, but still it is going to be gorgeous. 55 for a high temperature in Waterford tomorrow. We're looking at a high around 60 degrees in Colchester and mid 60s for New Britain. We'll talk about a cool down that follows and when heavy rain is in the forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, 2 Muslim students in Waterbury are recovering tonight after advocates say they were attacked by classmates for wearing hijabs.
The Council on American Islamic Relations says the students are Egyptian and just moved to Connecticut not too long ago.
Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is in Waterbury tonight with everything we know so far.
Islamophobia is an epidemic that's run rampant throughout the country for decades, and now students and staff at Wallace Middle School are feeling the impact.
March 3rd, 2025 was the 4th day of Ramadan. It was also the day Farhan Mimin from CARE says 2 Islamic students were targeted for their beliefs.
There were 2 students at Michael Wallace Middle School who were assaulted brutally by their fellow classmates. They were beaten up and had to go to the hospital. And it's literally the most violent incident of school bullying that I've seen in my 10 years of working with care.com.
According to Mimmin, the two students were girls who just migrated from Egypt. He says they were targeted for wearing their hijab to school.
One of the girls suffered bruises to her face and a bloody nose. The other one seems to have had something scraped alongside her neck. But for the grace of God, they're alive. They've been in pain for the past week, staying at home because they're fearful about going back to school.
Mimmin says this attack could have happened to anyone.
As a parent, it's intensely worrying that I'm going to send my child off to school and then other kids are going to taunt her or pull out her headscarf or try and rip it off.
That's how Fad Saeed feels about sending his 6th grade daughter to school after this incident.
Without a doubt, it could be because my daughter just started wearing her hijab not too long ago. My older daughter had her hijab torn off before. I believe that it was at Crosby. But when I heard that, I kind of thought maybe it was my daughter, Yeah, it could be my daughter tomorrow.
Wallace Middle School Principal Vincent Balsamo sent an email to parents after the incident that reads, "I'm writing to inform you of a recent matter where students may have engaged in inappropriate behavior towards classmates based on religious beliefs. Although this happened to be an isolated incident, our school remains steadfast in our commitment to fostering a respectful and inclusive environment for all students." Even though Farhan says this email was a good first step, he wishes it provides mention of Islamophobia.
Part of dealing with the problem is naming the problem. Vaguely calling it a religious-based issue, I think, does not really underscore the seriousness of what happened.
Mimmin tells me that CARE will be sending a letter to the superintendent's office to try to schedule a meeting with the parents regarding the investigation, a safety plan, and disciplinary action for those involved. In Waterbury, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
All right, Jamel, thank you. The town of North Haven is mourning the loss of a father and his baby boy who died in a crash over the weekend. That crash happened Saturday morning near Rockingham, Vermont, on the northbound side of Interstate 91 during snowy weather. We're still waiting for pictures of the victims, but we are learning their names. That father, identified as Taylor Binnington of North Haven, and his 4-month-old son, Perry Lake. We're also learning tonight that the pair was not the only ones in the Hyundai SUV at the time that it collided into the back of a fuel tanker. The child's mother, Evelyn Lake, was a passenger in the car who was taken to a nearby hospital along with their 3-year-old son. Police say both the mother and the 3-year-old child are expected to survive, but news of this family's sudden loss has shocked the North Haven community. Some members shared their reaction with Fox 61 earlier today.
It's terrible, that horrible accident. I hate to see anyone lose their life, and especially now a father and a new baby.
I don't even know how you go on. I mean, I don't know how anyone goes on. Where you find the strength, where you find the desire to go on.
I felt so sad for the family. I have 2 boys that are 5 and 8, and I just can't even think of what they're going through right now. So devastating.
We also heard from the first selectman of North Haven, Michael Frieda, who said Binnington sat on the town's Clean Energy Task Force in 2023. Frieda called the passing a devastating tragedy, and hearts are with the family tonight.
A former attorney in Litchfield has been found guilty in a deadly parking lot shooting back in 2021. 78-year-old Robert Fisher Jr. was convicted of first-degree manslaughter today in the killing of Matthew Bromley. Prosecutors say Bromley punched Fisher multiple times while Fisher was sitting in his car outside his law office. As Bromley walked away, Fisher got out, confronted him, and then shot him in the head at close range. Sentencing is set for June 10th in Torrington Superior Court.
And we learned more about a stabbing that sent a Waterbury woman to the hospital this morning. Police say they arrested 37-year-old Robert Clark of Waterbury. He's accused of attacking the 25-year-old woman at the corner of Rose and Walnut Streets. She was seriously hurt and is now in the hospital. Police say this was a domestic incident. They also say the pair share multiple children, they say, and they are in DCF's care tonight. Clark was hurt during the arrest. Police say he jumped out of a window. He's in the hospital with minor injuries and is facing several charges this evening.
North Haven police say they have finally arrested the man who hit two drivers during a dangerous street takeover back in December. They've arrested 28-year-old Segundo Tixi of Queens, New York on Thursday. He's being held in New York as a fugitive from justice and is expected to be extradited here to Connecticut. Police say they will charge him with assault and evading responsibility. 5 other people believed to have attended the street takeover were also arrested. We'll have more details on fox61.com.
At the Capitol today, Senator Richard Blumenthal was there demanding President Donald Trump to end tariffs, especially against Canada. Ontario put a 25% tax increase on electricity exports today. Connecticut receives most of its energy from Eastern Canadian hydropower. Leaders say these tariffs will cause our state's electric bills to spike even more than they already have. ISO New England reports Canada will collect $165 million. That's a year from these taxes. Lawmakers are calling on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to refuse the tariffs.
The point here is that it not only will hit consumers in their homes, but it will affect businesses as well. It will have a ripple effect on our economy, potentially impacting jobs and inflation generally.
Our state's electric rates are some of the highest in the nation. As of December of last year, the national average cost for energy is around 16 cents per kilowatt per hour, whereas here in Connecticut, the average cost is about 28 cents per kilowatt per hour.
Well, stocks on Wall Street plunged today on fears a global trade war will hurt economic growth. Today's losses followed the worst week for U.S. stocks since September on concerns the on and off again tariffs will either hurt the economy directly or create enough uncertainty to stall growth. The Dow sank nearly 900 points, the Nasdaq dropped nearly 728, and the S&P 500 is down 155 on the day. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says there is no recession brewing.